Several commercial airplanes flying faster than the speed of sound. Cunard Cruise Line stepping up their itineraries with a couple world cruise options for 2026. Travel agents and tourists basically ignoring the U.S. State Department travel advisory on the Bahamas. This is Travel News Today. Let's get into it. So we need to talk about the Supersonic commercial airliner. But first, let me invite you to subscribe to our channel. We are making great videos. Why not hit that like button? Why not hit that subscribe button and get more of this great content? So normal flight speeds for commercial airliners travel between about 480 and 575 miles an hour. But a couple of days ago, because of a heavy 200 mile an hour jet stream, 5 commercial airline flights, including one out of New York, were literally pushed to over 800 miles an hour. That is technically faster than the speed of sound. As you would expect, all the flights did arrive early to their destinations. It is speculated by me that the passengers were all scared shitless. Can you imagine being on a flight like this? I've been through some crazy turbulence where the whole plane is screaming and it sounds like you're on a roller coaster. But I can only imagine this was even more terrifying. What is your worst flight experience? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from some of the passengers on these planes to find out what it was like inside the cabin. Considering you're going faster than the speed of sound, was there a lag in the conversations? Could you feel the speed from inside the plane? Did you hear a sonic boom? Inquiring minds want to know. Cunard Cruise Line stepping up their itineraries with a couple world cruise options for 2026? That's right, if taking a world cruise is on your list of to-dos, Cunard Cruise Line has you covered. The Queen Anne and Queen Mary II are scheduled to disembark on simultaneous world cruises in January of 2026. The Queen Anne will offer a 109-night world voyage departing on January 11th, 2026. The ship will sail round-trip from Southampton and cruise to the South Pacific, port calling in Abu Dhabi and making overnight port calls in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Sydney, Australia. Cunard is making the assumption in this itinerary that the Suez Canal will be open for the ship to sail through. Let's hope that works out, because if it doesn't, we're going to have a whole lot of cruisers calling up Cunard and saying, you know what happens when you assume, right? The Queen Mary II's sailings will range from 2 to 109 nights, with 15 overnight calls including Los Angeles, San Francisco, Reykjavik, Iceland, Quebec City, and Sydney, Australia. These world cruises will range in price anywhere from about $3,000 to $20,000, depending on how many of the 109 nights you want to cruise. Wow, a world cruise is an interesting proposition. 109 nights on a cruise ship would be wild. I recently spent 18 nights on a cruise ship and gained about 7 pounds, so this would worry me a little bit. You know, not having to cook or clean, getting treated like royalty, and sailing to some magical, beautiful, exotic places for a few months does not sound bad. I will say that traveling the world not on a cruise ship and actually living among the cultures and people of the places that you're traveling does have a little bit more of an authentic ring to it. But hey, both options, adventure awaits. So let's talk about the U.S. State Department travel advisory on the Bahamas. The travel advisory level for the Bahamas has not changed, remaining 2 out of 4 on the U.S. scale. On January 26, an update encouraged travelers to be vigilant in tourist and non-tourist areas because of an uptick in crime on the islands, particularly on New Providence and the Grand Bahama. On January 30th, the Office of the Prime Minister for the Commonwealth of Bahamas stated the government of the Bahamas is implementing a robust and innovative crime reduction and preventive strategy. This comprehensive approach is informed by the latest research, successful international models focusing on 5 key pillars: prevention, detection, prosecution, punishment, and rehabilitation. Bahamian officials also said that the increased crime mostly affects the local population and to just be aware of your surroundings when visiting. Would you feel safe going to the Bahamas right now? Let me know in the comments. I personally wouldn't be too worried about visiting the Bahamas at this point, although what the Prime Minister said seemed to just be talking points and kind of telling us what we want to hear. When traveling to different countries in the world, you always have to be a little bit on guard. Everywhere you go as a tourist, you are a target for crime. Just a couple of months ago, my wife and I had just arrived in Santiago, Chile. We made it a couple of blocks from the bus station. I handed her my phone to check the status of our Uber, and out of nowhere, a man on a bicycle comes cruising by and tries to pull the phone right out of her hand. Luckily, my wife has ninja-like reflexes and we did not lose the phone that day. But that was a very direct reminder to us that we are not at home and we need to always be very aware of our surroundings. All right, the last segment here is going to be the travel tip of the day. This one is how to save money while traveling, especially if you're on a longer trip than just like a weekend. One of the big expenses while traveling is eating out every meal every day. Booking accommodations with a kitchen can allow you to prepare home-cooked meals using local produce and meats, giving you a true taste of the area. And it can also save you a ton of money. If a hotel room is your only option, you can still use the bar fridge and kettle. Just making breakfast every morning can save you hundreds of dollars on your trip. Emily and I really took advantage of this tip on our last trip to South America. We were there for 2.5 months. It would have cost a fortune to eat out every meal every day. So we embraced going to the grocery store, getting those local groceries, and cooking delicious meals. It was a really fun part of our trip. That is it for travel news today. Always remember, no matter where you decide to go on your next trip, adventure awaits. Hey, you made it all the way to the end of this video. That means you liked it. So why not hit that like button? Why not hit that subscribe button? We're going to be talking about our experience in Santiago, Chile pretty soon. We're going to be going to Brazil. We're going to be going to Peru. We're going to be doing more cruises. We're going to be making great videos. Hit that like and subscribe, and hopefully we will see you soon.